Hey everyone, I just wanted to make a quick update to give you guys, I guess, a little recap of what's been happening the past few days. As some of you may know, I had my endoscopy on Friday, and I guess I could say it went pretty well. Originally, the appointment was scheduled for 12, and I had a fast the day beforehand. Well, not the day beforehand, but from midnight on, I couldn't have anything to eat or drink. And I mean, I understood that, that was no problem. But the only issue that I had with it basically was that it was scheduled for 12. I probably didn't go until 12:30, and then I don't think they took me in, I guess their little operating room, or where they put me in under anesthesia. They probably didn't take me in there till about like 1:50. So it was much later than it was scheduled, and I think mainly because it was also backed up that day because it was a Friday, so a lot of people had the same procedure scheduled with my surgeon that I'm having. And so I didn't really have a problem with like the fasting or anything. It was just a matter of waiting. And the other thing that I had an issue with that no one had mentioned before, and I'm not like blaming you guys or anything, but it was mainly that the surgeon's office or the facility that I scheduled the endoscopy with, they never said anything about giving like a urine sample or anything. So that was one of the things that sort of threw me off since I was waiting so long. I figured, oh, I might as well go to the bathroom now before they put me out, because who knows what will happen and how long I'll be in there. So I figured, oh, I'll go to the bathroom now since no one mentioned anything about getting a urine sample. So, of course, the moment I leave to go and do that, then my mom comes running in after me saying that they want a urine sample, but of course I already went. And because apparently they had to do a pregnancy test, which I don't understand why they would need to do a pregnancy test. I mean, I understand for the surgery or for like pre-op testing and stuff. But for the endoscopy, I'm like, yeah, my stomach and intestines are not connected to a uterus, so even if I was pregnant, I don't know how that would relate, but I could have just told them flat out, I'm not pregnant and I'm aware of that, but whatever, it's in the past, so it was no big deal really. I mean, the only issue was that they couldn't get an IV on my right hand, so they had to re-stick me on my left hand, and apparently on my arms or on my hands I have terrible veins, so that wasn't the funnest, because I'm fine with needles. It was just a matter of, they go in and they keep fishing in and out and trying to find the veins, so that's never really fun, but I mean, I guess it's alright. It could have been worse, but so that's all that there is with that, and I've never been under anesthesia before, so it was definitely an interesting experience getting the IV and then just laying on the little gurney bed, and then all of a sudden, like, I knew he was sticking the anesthesia in, and it was like I was looking around, I saw my surgeon there who was doing the procedure, and I was just sort of looking up in the air and checking out the screens that were around, and then the next thing I knew, I was in the recovery room. So, I mean, I guess that's a good thing to show that it worked and that I didn't feel anything, so that was fine. But then they gave me like a little juice and crackers afterwards, so I wasn't feeling so weak. And there was nothing really too special with all that. I mean, I guess everything went fine. My mom drove me home, so I didn't get out of the recovery room until probably around 3:15. Meanwhile, it was like a 5 or 10 minute procedure. It was scheduled at 12, and I didn't get out till like 3:30 or somewhere around there, probably a little before that. So I did think that was a little off-putting, because I mean, my mom had the always has Fridays off, so it was no problem for her to drive me there and then drive me home, because that day I couldn't operate heavy machinery, not that I really wanted to. But I just was a little concerned, like, what if I did have a problem, with someone could only take an hour off, like that was their lunch break and they could drive me. So I mean, it was fine for me, but I felt bad for other people who probably had like tighter schedules. Meanwhile, I had the whole day off. So the procedure and everything went fine. They gave me all my discharge papers of, saying be taken directly home, don't operate heavy machinery, don't be drinking booze within this next day, and do all this other crazy stuff. But it was good to know, because the few days after that I did have like a mild stomach pain, and I mean, it did say that on like the potential effects afterwards. It was either like sore throat or stomach pain or redness on the IV spot. So I guess since it said on the papers, I didn't feel too concerned. But they did give me like the picture, I guess, of what they took inside of what my stomach looks like. And I guess that's how I imagined it, to look all gross and whatever. But, so that's probably one of the most interesting things. For anyone who's going to get their endoscopy, I guess recently or anytime near, I would definitely make sure, I learned this the hard way, that the following day, make sure you eat. Because I ate lunch that Saturday afterwards, but I was going to a concert that night in the city, and what time was it? So I ate lunch probably around like 3 o'clock maybe, or 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock, and then I didn't eat dinner or anything, so my stomach was still kind of sore, and it wasn't like I was doing a terrible amount of activity, but I hadn't eaten the whole night, and the concert didn't start till 8. Well, no, they didn't open the doors till 8, because this one was in the city. The doors didn't open till 8, and then it didn't get out till probably like 12:30, 12:45. So I didn't get home till probably around 3:30. No places were open. So in between like the 10 hours that I didn't eat, it probably wasn't a very good idea on my part, and I'll admit that. So my stomach was hurting pretty badly that night. I felt like I was going to pass out, or I don't even know what. But then the following day, which was this past Sunday, I had another concert, and I made, the people who I went with, we went again. It was just my sister and my friend. But we made sure to stop and eat dinner probably before, it was probably around 5:30. So I made sure I had dinner before I went to the venue. So that day I did feel better, but on and off during the concert, I kept feeling those same stomach pains. And I wasn't like in like the crazy mosh pits or anything, because one of the openers was Story of the Year, and I did not know they were metal, so I wasn't expecting that. So I wasn't anywhere near the mosh pits or anything crazy like that, but wherever I was standing, it hurt just to like stand there. And I knew I ate, I knew I was drinking plenty of fluid, so it was just a little weird for me. But although the railing that I was standing by, because there's like 2 sets of railings in that venue, before the headliner Anne Berlin came on, I sat on it just because my feet were basically hurting from standing for a few hours already. So I figured I might as well sit down before the whole show started. And that actually helped a lot for some reason. I don't know if it was like the compression of my stomach just sitting just made everything feel better. So then the moment I stood up for Anne Berlin, it was a lot of pain. I mean, it was tolerable, but it wasn't really that fun. So, I mean, I don't know if that's a normal side effect, but I feel okay now. But basically yesterday was my full 1 week before I have surgery. So this upcoming Monday on the 7th is when I have my surgery planned at I think it's 3 or 3:30, I'm not sure, I'll have to check. But I'll try to make more updates during this week about stuff that I've already brought in before the surgery. So hopefully I'll be able to record that. And I don't know, I guess just regular updates. Nothing else too special going on with my life, except for tomorrow I do have like the pre-op lab tests and everything. So it's like chest x-ray and blood work and stuff. And then the following day on Thursday I do have, what is it? What are they called? I have to get medical clearance from my primary care. So, yeah, I have a bunch of stuff that I have to do this week, and, basically I've just been running around like crazy. So, I mean, concerts, it's like one of my hobby things, so I can't really complain about that, but it's basically trying to figure out all this stuff. It's like my last week working before anything else, and, basically, I've been putting together, like, the list. I think I have everything pre-op, but I'll make a video about that. And then I have a list of, like, things I'm going to pack in my bag, so I'll try to record that and see if you guys can give me any recommendations. But, yeah, I mean, thanks for watching, and if you guys had any sort of, if you had the same, especially if you had the same issues as me for the endoscopy, where you had stomach pains, or if you had anything else, I mean, post it in the comments, or let me know what you had to go through. It would definitely help me, so that I don't know that I'm going completely crazy, or I just didn't totally mess up. But, I was going to try to make this as a quick update, but I guess not, because now I'm hitting 10 minutes, but, and don't ask me why I'm recording in the bathroom. I just felt like changing the scenery again. But yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll try to make another update tomorrow. Okay.